So with it being the end of the year 2019, in case you haven't heard, most gaming channels, review channels especially, will do their top 10 lists of 2019 of the games that came out in 2019. Unfortunately for me, I didn't play all the games I wanted to play in 2019. That's usually the case for me, unfortunately. There's a bunch of games I haven't played, unfortunately, but I do have 10 games that really impressed me this year in 2019. So with all that being said, here are my top 10 games of 2019.
Listen, I need you to do me a favor, okay?
From the maker of Her Story, Telling Lies is pretty much in the similar vein as Her Story was. You are accessing video files on a computer and you're trying to piece the story together by typing in certain words into the computer itself. This game is a bit hit and miss for some people, but if you enjoyed Her Story, I do believe Telling Lies is a worthy sequel. I did enjoy this just as much as I did with Her Story, and I think Her Story was pretty good.
When you slew the Undying Mind, you changed the course of history.
Yes, I know Destiny 2 didn't come out in 2019, so why is it on this list? As you may have known, there was a DLC expansion called Shadowkeep. Now, I'm not really referring to Shadowkeep as my number 9 game or DLC expansion of 2019. I'm more referring to Destiny currently as its state, what it's currently in. I believe Destiny 2 is in the best state it's ever been. I hugely enjoyed it this year. This was the most fun I had playing Destiny. And with or without Shadowkeep, and Shadowkeep in my opinion is not that great, it's probably one of the weakest DLCs. Besides Shadowkeep, I think Destiny as a whole, as a games for service type of deal, is the best it's ever been in 2019, and I hugely enjoyed it this year especially. Slay the Spire is a rogue deck building game that's been in early access I think for about 2 years, but got a full release in 2019, and after that came out on Switch, I believe. First it came out on PC and came out on Switch of this year, and I've hugely enjoyed Slay the Spire. I played it when it was in early access. I was kind of one of the first people to play it around the time when it came out because I really enjoyed the kind of concept of it. But I kind of, with most early access games, I don't buy early access games anymore, but when I did, I took a break from them and then come back to them when they were full releases. Slay the Spire got a full release this year. It is a hugely enjoyable roguelike experience. If you enjoy deck building and synergies and words like that, you will really love Slay the Spire. It's not just a meme. I actually really liked Untitled Goose Game this year. I just found it a change of pace from everything I was playing in 2019. It's funny, it's humorous. The puzzles, you know, it's not groundbreaking or anything, but it's just a nice experience, and I laughed my ass off playing this game. It also has like a British sense of humor to the whole thing because it's kind of set in Britain, which I found really relatable, but I hugely enjoyed this game. I thought it was one of the funniest games I've played all year.
What? No chit-chat or monologue? Just getting right to the point, huh?
The last time I played a Devil May Cry game was Devil May Cry 2, properly, the last time I played it. I was a massive fan of Devil May Cry 1 when it came out on PlayStation 2. Devil May Cry 2 is notorious for being not that great, and I kind of went off the cliff with that franchise and never went back to it. This Devil May Cry 5 is the first time I've played a Devil May Cry game since 2, and my god, it feels amazing. But the action in Devil May Cry 5 is so satisfying. I absolutely love playing this game. It's so smooth to watch it, 60 frames a second I think on every thing, I think, on consoles as well and PC. It's a joy. I absolutely love this game. I was really looking forward to Exodus. A lot of people have said that they didn't like the way Exodus kind of changed everything. It went from the underground sewers to a lot more kind of open world levels, but not entirely open world. But I really, really enjoyed this kind of change of pace, because I feel like if they kept doing the same thing that they did in Last Light, it wouldn't feel fresh. And this feels fresh. It feels like a new Metro experience. Metro's always been about not trying to make you comfortable in your surroundings. And with this kind of new concept or this new type of game in the Metro series, I really think they achieved that. I absolutely love Metro Exodus.
Some people want you to be a savior, a shining beacon of hope. Those people clearly haven't met you yet.
Thank God for Obsidian, because this filled my whatever happened to Fallout franchise. This filled that gap for me and probably many other people since, I guess, New Vegas. The Outer Worlds is fantastic. Immediately after playing a couple of hours of The Outer Worlds, I immediately felt like that itch I had when I last played New Vegas, that kind of sense of humor that was in New Vegas and that charm that was in New Vegas that's been missing for years. I found it in this game, and I'm so, so grateful. The humor, the dialogue, the story, the gameplay, yes, it's not the greatest in the world, but it works. It's great. It's what I expected, and I think that's what makes Outer Worlds great, is we expected a type of game from Obsidian, and we got it. It met our expectations, and you know what? It's a fantastic game.
The people she left behind have been hard at work, setting up chiral network terminals. But these terminals are still isolated. We need you to bring them online. And for that, you'll need a Cupid. This is how we'll rebuild our country.
Most controversial game of the year, obviously, but Death Stranding, I think, and especially after weeks after finishing it, I think it is a gem of a game. I think what it tried to achieve, and in order to get there, was to do something that was completely out of the ordinary. And that's not always going to hit a lot of people's buttons. And I understand that, but I appreciate at the same time what they were trying to do with this game. It is by far the weirdest game I played this year, but on top of the story and the weird babies and all sorts of things, the gameplay itself, yes, while it was frustrating for me at the start, I did appreciate it more as I played the game, and I actually started to fall in love with it a little bit as time went on, because I appreciate what they're trying to do with this game. It's a game you can't really convince everyone to buy, just because everyone's tastes are different and the way they view games is different. But if you're that type of person who wants to try something very new, and I do mean very new, then Death Stranding is a new type of game, and it is truly a new type of game. I truly believe that. I didn't have an experience like this with any other game this year.
There's a dead body behind the hostel cafeteria, and a strike that's about to become a war. Precinct 57 sent their finest.
The newest game I've been playing, I'm still playing it at the moment, Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium is a detective RPG where you can be whatever detective you want to be. And you know what? That's sort of a little dream of mine, because I'm mad into Sherlock Holmes, especially. My cat's even called Sherlock, so I like detective type of games, and this is by far the best of all time. I don't know if that's a milestone that they would appreciate, but this truly is one of the best, hands down, the best RPG of the year. Disco Elysium tries something new with the RPG genre. It doesn't go down the route of what you're obviously expecting with a lot of RPGs. Take Divinity 2, for example. Wizards, lizards, fantasy setting. It does something different. It is a different type of RPG experience. and it is really engaging. It's the dialogue that's really gets into you. The writing in this is superb. It is funny. It is intriguing. If you like RPGs, get Disco Elysium. It is one of the best RPGs on PC by far. So that leaves us with one more game that is my favorite game of the year. Most of you already know what this game is. And of course, it's WWE 2K20. WWE 2K20 sees the return of the much-loved franchise. And this time around, we got no major problems with it at all. And it's a perfect wrestling game, and all our wrestling fans are very, very happy about it. Yes, obviously, I'm lying, of course. My actual favorite game of 2019 is The Outer Wilds is a experience I wish I had back, because I never, ever in a very, very long time had an experience like this with a video game. This was the game this year that really glued me to this game. I got obsessed with it. I started to try figure out this game and how it works, and figuring out how it works is the best part of this. The game mechanics in this game are crazy and bonkers. The story is mad, and trying to figure out how this whole thing works and what type of game this is the fun of this game. I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of it. I think it's the best game of the year. I think everyone should experience it this year. Really sit down with it and really experience what The Outer Wilds is, because it will be an unforgettable one. I promise you that. Mobius Digital, a developer I never ever heard of. I think most people didn't pull something out of the bag, which I think is, in my eyes, a classic for years to come. I think this is just an unbelievable game. Go play it, please. If you haven't played it, go play The Outer Wilds. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for checking out my top 10 games of 2019. I know I haven't got the boat rolling, essentially, with videos on this channel in 2019, but I do appreciate your viewership. Hopefully I can get the boat rolling again in 2020 with a lot more stuff. 2020 is probably looking like a very, very good year for games, so I probably will be reviewing a ton of games in 2020. So I do hope you check these videos out in the future. Thank you very much for your support anyway, and I'll see you soon. Bye.